Good evening, everybody. Welcome on into this edition of War Chant TV. We are live. It is the happy hour edition of our program. The very best people on the beat, all gathering under one virtual roof to talk about your Noles. It's Jacksonville State week. Can you feel it, gentlemen? Let's go. The Noles ready for resurrection on Saturday. Cheers to all of you at home.
Cheers.
And here as well. Gene Williams, obviously, wearing that fantastic Duff t-shirt, or shirt rather. Nice collar on that thing. Corey Clark in your lower right corner. Not drinking soda. Proud of you, young man. And then Irish.
Little vitamin water.
There we go. Getting ready. Get your mom.
Man, we lost Aslan.
Oh boy. So I guess we got to carry the show there. So Corey, it's all you, buddy.
I feel like I've talked enough this week.
Do your best, Aslan. You work with him all the time. You got to be able to moderate.
There he is. He's back.
He's back.
Yeah, my internet's fine. This camera, for some reason, just doesn't like to cooperate all the time. But how energized are we all, gentlemen? Are we ready for this? Racy Florida State get their first win in the Mike Norvell era? Ira, you look ready.
I mean, I'm not counting any W's right now. We're gonna see what happens, but you certainly like their chances.
So what's the losing streak at going back to 19 now? So how many games in a row? 5?
They've lost 4 straight. Yeah, which is the first time they've lost 4 straight since 1975.
Correct.
Yeah.
Not great.
Hey, but what happened after 1975?
This whole thing turned around.
Yeah, it turned around. I mean, it was a slow turn, but by 77, they were winning 10 games. Yeah. So that's all I'm saying.
All right, we'll be taking phone calls, 850-805-5911 to call us, get involved in the program. Just any, I don't know, overarching feelings about this game, Gene, going into it. Is it the youth movement? Is it James Blackman's last stand? I mean, what do you think Saturday will ultimately be? Just merely a footnote or anything of consequence?
Well, again, to do a little tease here, if you're a War Chant subscriber, and I know down there we've got the somewhere down there the special code where you can get in. I just dropped some nuggets. People love their nuggets. It's happy hour. You got to have some chicken wings and some nuggets, right? With your beer, they taste really good. So I dropped a few about what's some of the stuff we're hearing about the quarterback situation, some stuff on some injuries. I'll just drop a little hint. I think there's a very good sign that we're going to get to see a little dose of maybe 1 or 2 freshman quarterbacks. I don't know. I'm not saying they're going to start, but I think we'll see get a little teaser maybe this Saturday.
Okay, we like that. We enjoy that. I like the sounds of that.
Your Chuba debut, I know you're looking forward to that, Aslan, potentially.
Yeah, I do. I would, man. There we go, right there. It says Nuggets. I'm not going to click on it because if I click on it, then everybody can read it. A little hovering there. Little. Just
no.
Full sample there. I go over there grabbing nuggets. Meanwhile, Corey Clark, Irish O'Fell here as well. Ira, you're not counting dubs, but what do you want to see Saturday?
Look, I'm curious to see just what the effort is. I mean, when you think back to the ULM game last year, the Samford game the year before, Florida State the last couple of years hasn't shown a lot of determination against these FCS opponents. So that's one thing. We'll see. Mike Norvell and some of the players said that Wednesday was a great practice. They said the guys have been dialed in, so we'll see.
That's practice, Irish. That's practice, not great rest.
So we'll see how that manifests on Saturday. I mean, because at the end of the day, Florida State, people know that Florida State's not good enough to overlook anybody, even an FCS team. So that's one big thing I want to see. And then, like Gene said, you just want to see some of these younger guys. Even if the younger quarterbacks play, which we all expect they will play meaningful minutes, we know they're not going to be perfect, but we know that where things were going with James Blackman at quarterback, it just wasn't going in the right direction. So at least you'd like to think that these young guys would learn as long as they don't get burned up in the process.
Corey, defense, right? That's what you're keeping your eye on. You're the ball hawking oracle for us, right? Is that what you want to see, or?
I'm just glad I see my man William Flynn tuning in from Bozeman, Montana.
That's right.
I mean, he hasn't given up on this program and this team. He's in Montana. It's, 2:00 out there, 3:00 out there in Bozeman. It's probably really pretty, glorious day. And he's still on YouTube watching this. As far as the one I want to see on Saturday, a win, some points. It'd be nice to get a couple third down, like maybe a 3-and-out. That'd be something. A couple third down stops. That's about it. Maybe a win.
Was Bozeman where you worked, Aslan?
I did. Southwest Montana, KBCK 59718. Represent that zip code. The Rockin' R, the Cannery, some of my favorite haunts, the Bacchus Pub in downtown. Bozeman was very charming. I liked it. Really expensive, though. Wasn't good. Very conducive for a guy making $10 an hour, but, made it work. It was great. Really good experience. By the way, everybody watching this on YouTube, if you could hit the thumbs up button, we would appreciate it. If you don't want to subscribe to our website, you're lost, but you can subscribe to our YouTube page and set your notifications with a little bell in the corner. Once you hit subscribe, you can be notified whenever we drop these live shows. Michael Langston does his recruiting chats. Corey and I do a live podcast once a week. And then all the videos that we do. We did a roundtable early this week talking about how we got to this point and where to go forward. But enough of the past. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's grab our first caller of the day. Welcome on in to the warchant.com happy hour. You got a whole bunch of Florida State fans and the best dudes on the beat listening to you. Who's this and what's your question?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It's Gator Kirk.
Yes, Gator Kirk.
There he is. Doing well, Gator Kirk. How are you, man? How's Virginia Beach?
It's pleasant today. It's not too bad. A little windy, but it's fall here. We're about 70 degrees, so it's really nice.
Nice.
Really nice.
Is that what you're feeling about the game Saturday? You feeling nice about it, or not as pleasant as the fall autumn weather in the 757?
Just hoping for a win.
Okay.
Hoping for a win. It's our. Watching the film the other day, our linebackers were so out of position on so many plays that I don't know if they're trying to, do someone else's. Well, it looks like they're not doing their own job. That's just it. Just do your own job and come together. We're going to give up plays, but you just got to do your own job.
All right.
Rely on the people around you. So
I hear you. What do you want to see Saturday? What do you want to see tomorrow to make you feel good about things, Kirk?
Man, I really, if JB1's going to play, I really hope they don't run any routes more than 15 yards. Just little dig routes, little curl routes, little buttons, little crosses, screens, something where he doesn't have to wait too long, or because he likes to throw the long ball. So just, keep it within his skill set, and then. After a couple series, let's give the other lads a go. Let's don't care who's first. Chubba, Tate, Travis, just mix them all in.
I hear you, man. You got a question?
Yeah, well, I have one, but I feel I have two of them, but one of them might bring us down, so I'll go with the other one.
What's up?
So I know you guys work the game, but do y'all have like a night before meal that you have, like a big game meal? Like there's something I have for almost every big game we play, like during the game. I didn't know if you all had you four had some ritual that you had like the night before, because I guess you're at the stadiums of the games.
Corey, what about you, man?
Well, whatever I'm doing is not working. I can tell you that much. I'm trying to think of what I ate a lot in 2013. I was going back and forth. No, I wasn't. I was stationed in Tallahassee full time. So I was probably eating a lot of home cooked stuff from the great formerly Shanna Clark. So maybe I need to start having her cook me meals again.
Maybe she'll do a meal plan for you.
I feel like that she owes me that.
Ship you some meals.
Yeah, a husband support plan, ex-husband support plan. So, and every now and again I'll try to eat a Crystal cheeseburger or 4.
Okay, there we go.
The Friday nights for our kids, since they were little, Friday night's pizza night. So we usually end up having pizza on Friday nights. Last Friday night I was on the road. I was down in Miami, so I got some Flanagans, some tasty Flanagans. But it doesn't seem to matter what I eat, and team still seems to look the same.
Did you make it to John the Baker, Ira?
I did. That was that was day of the game.
Oh, all right.
That was
that didn't work either. I think you posted it on Twitter or something.
Yeah.
You had a picture. Look, I've got to stop by there. I've never been there. It looked delicious.
Very tasty. But anyway, I think but look, if Florida State comes out and plays well, maybe Corey will buy everybody a nice dinner, a little nice steak dinner or something to celebrate.
I mean, not for Jacksonville State, my man. If they beat a team they're not supposed to beat, not only will I buy you guys a dinner, we'll take like our 10 callers. I guess we can't take them to dinner, but I'll send them gift cards personally to their favorite establishment if they beat somebody they're not supposed to beat. And that doesn't mean Wake or Louisville. You guys know who I'm talking about. Okay. I will take it up to 10 people. I'll send them nice gift cards for dinner. I feel like I'm safe, and I think my money's secure. Hey, they could prove us wrong though.
You're involved in this one too, so you'll be one of the 10, I'm sure, Gator Kirk. We appreciate the question, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I appreciate everything you all do. Normally you ask me, but I'll tell you. So I usually have hot wings. I usually have some chicken wings or something day of the game. And that U fan that put up the thing, if we don't get a win this morning, I won't be the first caller the next time.
Oh,
Wow.
don't threaten us like that, GK. Come on.
Someone else can be first, but
Ooh.
at least for a week or so.
It's not your fault.
So
Hey,
always you guys support Zaxby's, but see, I'm counting on the win so I can keep the streak alive.
Right, absolutely.
Everyone support Zaxby's. Hit that thumbs up. Join War Chant if you don't. I'm right after the show. I'm going to read that nugget that Gene has dropped. Yep. You guys be safe this weekend and go Noles.
Thanks, Gator Kirk.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Man, good stuff. Look at this guy back from the dead.
Woo!
James
James
B.
B.
The
Nice.
man.
Thanks, James B. That's
We
awesome.
lost Aslan again. I think he's getting ready to blow the air horn. So everyone, let's act like we heard it, and then we don't have to hear it.
No, stop that. Stop
Oh,
that.
there he is.
Hey,
I haven't seen Swole Noel. I don't know if he's in there. I haven't seen him in the queue yet. I know he really loves the horn.
Yeah, he can.
Thank you very much, James B. That's
Thanks,
awesome,
buddy.
man. That's very, very, very nice. It's incredible that people are still so generous. Like, legitimately, this isn't sarcasm, that people are still so generous watching this program. Not this program. This program is excellent. The football program. They're still in a giving spirit, which is good to see. Good people.
And James, hope Sally didn't hit you too hard, man. I see your post there about why you've been absent on a couple shows, man. We still feel your energy coming from the Panhandle, though, and as the gentleman said, we do appreciate it. Drop us a question if you have one, James. We do appreciate it. Also, shout out to Roman Gilliard dropping us a super sticker. It looks like he's a Josh Griffiths fan.
Okay. All right.
Get a little edge pressure. I'll blow the horn from the press box if Josh Griffiths can get home. I would appreciate that. We need to see some pass rush. That would be great.
I feel like James B. with that $50 donation might have earned himself a $10 gift card to Olive Garden.
Oh,
Courtesy of Corey Clark.
Woo!
Hey, but only if they beat Clemson or Notre Dame.
wait a minute. What dinner are they getting at Olive Garden for $10, man?
Well, you could get the salad. I think
get
you can get the
breadsticks,
salad and the
that's about it.
breadsticks. Yeah.
we never figured out how much money I owe you after the Miami game for the ticket discrepancy,
I
Corey.
think it
But
was $17.
all right, whatever it is, U.S. Air Force Noel. He
Man,
can
look at this
Woo,
guy.
$25.
Man.
Nice.
There you go, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate your service. Trying to play.
Where's his horn?
That's awesome.
I'm trying, Corey. I'm trying.
Oh.
One man. There it is. I will never. I'll
So,
never.
Corey, does North Carolina not qualify the great Sam Howell if they pull that win off?
If they're ranked, if Florida State beats a ranked team this year,
I think
Then that
isn't
qualifies.
Carolina ranked?
yeah, they are right now. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
okay,
So I
so
think
that's
that would
another one.
qualify. Pitt might even qualify, I think. Thank you very much, Air Force Noel. That was awesome, man. Thank you very much.
For sure. Man, it doesn't stop. Look at this. It's like when it rains, it pours. But the good stuff, hopefully, when
Wow.
big plays, hopefully it pours big plays this Saturday. Clinton Terrell, or maybe Clinton Terrell, longtime listener. You guys are great, man. I can't wait until we have something positive to talk about.
No kidding.
You
All
and
of
me
us.
both, Clinton.
All of us, Clinton. All of us, man. I don't know. I forgot who I was. Somebody on my Twitter timeline popped up, and I think it might have been somebody who covers Alabama. Or I'm just like, man, and they were having some fun little back and forth with their fans. I'm like, yeah, that must have been nice. Back in 13, just having fun covering the program and, living high on the hog. But we'll get back. We'll get back eventually, sooner than later. Let's take a phone call. They've been hanging in the pocket here for a minute or two, actually 12 minutes to be exact. Welcome on to the warchant.com happy hour. Who's this and where are you calling us from?
This is Daryl from Thomasville, North Carolina. How y'all doing, guys?
There we go. There we go.
Hey,
What's
Daryl.
up, Daryl?
Captain D _63 for the War Chant faithful. What's going on, Daryl?
We doing all right. Just wanted to call in. Let y'all know we still supporting the Seminoles out here in North Carolina. It's about 65 degrees over here. It's a pretty nice day over here.
Beautiful.
I guess James Blackman's gonna have the script plays for probably the first series, and I guess hopefully they'll put somebody else in for the second series. Let Tate Rodemaker play, then Chili Purdy to take over take over the rest of the game. But what my question is on the defensive side of the ball is seems like on the defensive side of the ball, we have a lot of guys, when they do the screen passes, it seems like they, the offensive side of the ball, they get a lot of plays where they get 5, 10, 12, 15 yards down the field before we actually tackle them. Are we not? What kind of defenses is Fuller using for them to get so far down the field before we actually even touch them? Touch them.
Well, I think I'll jump in a little bit. I think Gator Kirk kind of nailed it. He talked about the play of the linebackers earlier. A lot of times on those plays in that area, when linebackers aren't found, they're not staying at home. They're not staying disciplined. They're missing their gaps or out of position. And when we get the grades from Pro Football Focus, those, especially the Emmett Rice and the Leonard Warners, are grading really down far on the list, according to them. So to me, the linebacker play has been very suspect so far. So I think that's a big cause for it. I don't know if you guys have any other opinion on that.
No, I mean, it's usually the linebackers and the safeties with something like that, and they're not playing all that well. Linebackers certainly aren't playing downhill. They're not seeing it quickly. Another thing, like in the Miami game, they don't really seem to be attacking the ball carrier. I think they're afraid they're going to miss a tackle, so they some of them were like tiptoeing up to the guy instead of flying at him. And that's how you can throw a screen pass on 3rd and 20 and get 17 yards and then get your best player kicked out of the game because he's the only one flying downfield trying to make a tackle. They seem to be playing with a lot of apprehension, which I guess when you're young, it makes sense. When you're old, it doesn't. And
I think you might have seen an overcorrection from the first game, because the first game they did fly in and they missed a bunch of tackles. And then in this game, they were real tentative and would kind of break down and then just kind of come to a standstill and let guys get by them.
Got to find that sweet spot.
Spot
in the middle.
There also were some blown assignments in that game too. So it's just bad. I mean, it's bad all around. That's the thing. Like, we all talk about the quarterbacks, and I get it, and we're all focused on that, and we think that's going to be a big deal. But if the defense doesn't get a lot better, I mean, these games are still going to be pretty hard to watch.
But I feel
40-38 will be all right, Ira. I can handle a 40-38 game.
I hear you.
Better than 16-13.
Ira, I mean, do you feel there's more potential for the offense to turn around in the short term quicker than the defense, or vice versa?
I do. I mean, I think if a quarterback is running that offense the right way, I think there's plays to be made. I was thinking about this the other day. Remember back in preseason, Mike Norvell, when he was asked to describe his offense, he said it's a timing-based offense. It's an up-tempo, timing-based offense. Well, you can't have a timing-based offense when your quarterback won't get rid of the ball. And so I think that one switch, if you have a quarterback that anticipates throws, gets the ball out of his hands quickly, doesn't get receivers killed the way James has been doing, I think it could look entirely differently than it does right now. I don't know if there's any kind of quick fix like that for the defense.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, Daryl, we appreciate the call, man. And thanks for being a loyal subscriber. We do appreciate it.
All right. Well, we appreciate the show, guys, and y'all do a great job. And I say, get each Zaxby's subscribe to War Chant, hit that subscribe button, and hit that thumbs up, guys. And we're sure hoping we get that win tomorrow, because Florida State needs it, our fans need it, and we sure need something positive going into that Notre Dame game. So good luck, guys, and keep up the great work. We love y'all.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, man.
I hope they have an Olive Garden in Thomasville, North Carolina.
Because he's going to be
saddling up. He's on the list.
I hope they have one in Houston, Texas.
Ray Pereira.
Wow.
Oh, Ray.
He might have just earned a $20 gift certificate to Olive Garden for that.
Hey.
Ray is out of control.
Good grief. Like, Ray, would you be giving us, like, I don't even know, like, would we get like a helicopter or something if we won some games by now? I mean, just think of the good mood Ray would be in. We appreciate it, man. He wanted a score prediction. All right. What was the number? I lost it already. It was like 53.5, Gene. Is that the number for the
I had to kind of make that up. FSU, what I was able to find, FSU is a 26-point favorite.
Okay.
And I looked at a couple of the sports books, and I didn't see like an over-under line. I didn't see a total points line. So I just kind of guessed one on that one.
That's
so there's
I think that's a solid line.
I just guessed. So FSU's 26-point favorite. I guess, did they cover? How do you even, like, I don't know how you set a line of a team that hasn't even played a game.
Well, we've seen one team that has those, so you can you can kind of use your context clues. I'm going to say I'll say 34-21.
Okay. All right. Ira, you feeling brave?
What'd you say, Corey?
34-21.
Wow, no cover, huh?
No.
34 points would be nice though against
Yeah,
anybody.
wouldn't that be something?
I'm going to one up you though. I'm going to go 37-13.
Ooh, a
I feel like
domination.
they're going to miss an extra point.
Okay, that's fair. They might go for 2 though early and not get it. That's
Set
another
the
way
tone.
they can get to that 13.
Let everybody know what they're here for.
Yeah, not like Louisiana Monroe.
I mean, they haven't played a single game, Jacksonville State. I mean, you should be able to like overpower them. I mean, you really should score in the 40s. If they score in the 40s, I'll be so happy. I think even if they score in the 40s, no matter what happens defensively, I think I'll probably be able to overlook it. But somewhere in the 34-16. That's all I got.
All right, Aslan, you want 40. I'll give it for you. 40-17.
Okay.
And 2 touchdown passes by Chuba.
Okay, nice. Hey, I was going to ask real quick when Daryl was talking. By the way, Ray, we can't thank you enough. I don't want you to think we're being dismissive. That's awesome. I think James B gets Ray going a little bit. When James B donates, Ray Pereira steps it up. I like it. It's a back and forth. Those 2 guys have been awesome from the jump, for real. We really do appreciate it. So they script the first plays for, let's say Blackman starts, but they do have a plan to get the other 2 guys involved. Do they get scripts too? Is their series scripted the first 10 or 12 plays?
I would think, right?
A lot of scripting this week.
That's a good thing, Corey. Have you not seen the script?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Non-script?
That's what I'm saying. So I would assume they would have some sort of scripted package as well. From when they get in, they know the first 6-8 plays they're going to be running. You would think.
So it's like the old Seinfeld. They're script worthy.
They are script worthy, right?
Yeah, I imagine if there is, and I think there could be, but maybe it's all smaller. The problem is the other 10 guys have to learn all these scripts also and get all that extra reps. So I would say, maybe it's 8 plays for James, 6-8 for each of the other guys or something like that. But yeah, it would make sense.
I was thinking, remember, I think it was Mike Norvell that was saying, they want, at minimum 8 offensive linemen to be able to kind of pick and choose from and cycle in. That's another thing too. I mean, if they had enough, if they were 8, 9, 10 deep at offensive linemen, they could script out 2 different fields, 2 different quarterbacks, offensive line. Probably they could run,
little Kentucky Derby, Corey.
That's right. Harkening back to the obviously the Danny Cannell, Charlie Ward, but then also it was brought back even better, I think, with Chris Ricks, Adrian McPherson back in the early 2000s. It worked not quite as well.
I don't know if this line is really quite to that level, so I don't know if you really want to.
You don't want to get your freshman killed.
7 Toms dropping $5 in the tip jar. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Can we bring Lundy and Dix Jr.? Those 2 and Gaynor, those guys ball. Has Lundy even played?
I don't know about Lundy. He's right about Dix. I like Dix and I like Gaynor.
Yeah, they played a bunch.
And I don't know how much Lundy has played. He's played a little. He hadn't played nearly as much as Dix. But yeah, I would get that guy on the field, see what he is too.
Let me see here. I'm trying. I mean, I got the grades here in front of me.
I pulled up. I didn't see Lundy on last week.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he played.
It was. I mean, Dix was the graded out 5th best out of the entire defense. But again, I mean, not the best performance from the defense. 57 on pass rush, which probably sounds about right. There was a moment in that game as I uncover Ira's face here. I mean, there was a moment, I think, in the first or second drive where they had him come on a blitz, or they told him to trigger, go downhill, literally 4 straight plays, and he just couldn't get it home. I mean, he just kept running into a wall of humanity. But I don't know how much of that's exhaustion after the second one, or just them not being able to get guys free and clear to let him come home. But yeah, I think we do like what we see from Dix.
I like who's up at the top of that list right there, my man.
Yeah.
Kalen.
Cool. He actually did play well in that game. That was interesting. And that was interesting. Just the whole game plan was interesting. I don't think the game plan for everybody's killing Adam Fuller. I don't think the approach was wrong against Miami, especially not having Kendo. The problem is guys just don't make plays. I mean, they really clogged up the middle of that defense, which is what you'd want to do against Miami, but then they'd still let the tight ends get behind them. they still wouldn't come up and make plays on the ball. Again, I know everybody's down on Adam Fuller. I just don't know if it's scheme. I think it's personnel. And that's why I don't know if there's a quick fix for it.
There we go. Jared Armstrong, 28-10. Take that.
Okay. All right.
10, just as long as the offense is nicely spaced out, over the course of 4 quarters.
A workman-like win.
How about Redbeard?
Redbeard.
25. Wow.
Let's go, Redbeard. So it's possible that Norvell is kind of outsmarting us. Is it? I guess he may be asking, knowing how hard it is to turn around, this is really going to be, knowing how hard of a turnaround this is really going to be, and keeps Blackman in to make sure the younger guys are really ready to go, learning a lesson from the QB 12 injury.
Yeah, Norvell brought that up this week, talking about how he brought up Blackman having to play as a freshman, right? And he said there were some positives and some negatives to it. The negative, obviously, is that he got to beat up a lot. The positive, though, is James Blackman against Florida was the best James Blackman we've ever seen from that year. He did grow. He did get better. He got appreciably better against Florida and against Southern Miss. How could I forget? He beat both of those teams and looked good doing it. So there is a chance, a good one, that a freshman quarterback will improve from early October to early December. And so, I think that's the positive. But then, yes, there also is the chance that you'll ruin them.
Yeah,
hopefully these kids are mentally tough enough to not be ruined by a couple bad.
Well, especially this game, Jacksonville State. I get the Miami game. You didn't want to throw Rodemaker or Purdy if he could have played in that game out against Miami to start a game. But if you're going to get thrown in, this is the game to do it. So, I mean, come on. It's Jacksonville State. This is the time you're going to get those guys extended reps.
But you're throwing them in to presumably be ready to play against Notre Dame and then North Carolina and then Pitt. And they will, if you have a freshman in some of those games, they are going to struggle a little bit. That's just how college football works. You have to be willing to learn with the growing pains, though. And again, we've seen the other guy. So let them grow up, and maybe they can have the same kind of improvement that James Blackman did from whatever, the NC State game to the Florida game of 17 I'm talking about.
I guess my question is then, if you don't think the quarterback is good enough to make a difference to win or lose the game, then how much better – I mean, if they're marginally better than James Blackman, how much better is his team with a marginally better quarterback then?
Well, you probably would have won the Georgia Tech game with a marginally better quarterback.
Yeah, you might have scored an extra.
It might be a win or two with a marginally better quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's worth the risk. If he's a little bit better, play the guy that's a little bit better. The guy that runs the offense.
And the hope's right that if you get a freshman that he does, like Corey said, if it's the James Blackman from his freshman year, you hope that the freshman comes in Georgia Tech, and then by we get to November and he's playing the Dukes, he's playing the NC States, that he's actually a serviceable quarterback like James was at the end of that year, and you can win those games, which right now maybe you can't win those games, but maybe by November you can.
Yeah, I think the way to look at it with the quarterbacks and all the other young players, the whole idea, behind going with younger players is not so much that they're going to win today, but you feel like if a guy's been in the program for 4 years or 5 years and they are what they are today, they probably aren't going to be a whole lot better by the end of the season. But a younger player, if he doesn't get destroyed, as Corey said, then maybe by the end of the year, that guy really has made a lot of improvement. So he's further along than where the older player would have been. So it's kind of a play forward the end of the season more than it is to try to win these next couple of games.
All right, very well. How about Chris Hendricks? Cheers, all of us.
Woohoo!
Cheers to you.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it, buddy.
Chris.
Says he can't wait to see Chuba's debut. Well, you also get a little love too there, Chris.
But I think no matter who throws for what on Saturday, I'd probably still start James at Notre Dame and let him wear it. I mean, I'd let those other guys play up there if you could, but I wouldn't start a freshman no matter how good they look Saturday. Would you guys? I don't know.
Is Notre Dame even playing this week? Or have they been able to practice? I mean, maybe you might be able to catch them. If one of these freshmen looks good, maybe you can catch Notre Dame, or is that beyond the
I think it depends. Doesn't it depend, Ira? It's all like, we would love it. Let's say they first couple series and they bring Purdy in and he just lights it on fire and throws for a couple touchdowns. He's running around making plays. Then you can't go back against Notre Dame and then put James back in there. But I mean, all things being equal, if they're kind of the same, nobody jumps out. I agree 100%.
Yeah,
but, I think it depends.
if Chuba throws for a couple touchdowns and runs for 70 yards, I don't know what message you're telling your team to then start the other guy.
Yeah.
Against Notre Dame, other than we don't think we're going to win and we don't want to ruin Chuba's confidence. And then they're like, oh, awesome. Well, this will be fun then. Great. I work hard too. I want to try to win a game. I don't think it'll be much different whoever plays. And I see your point too.
That's what I'm saying. So you're setting that kid up. I mean, Notre Dame's defense is really good. So you're setting a freshman up to maybe get bombed. And then now he's got to come back from that. I mean, I don't know. I just don't. That doesn't seem like the smartest idea in the world.
But as a coach, though, we get it as like outsiders. Yes, I understand that. You've given up on the season, essentially. Like, not that it's going to be anything special. But those guys in the locker room, I don't know as a head coach, if one of these quarterbacks looks really good and James Blackman looks like James Blackman, I don't know how you sell that to the team. If you're trying to get them to believe they can win and go up there, I don't know what kind of message that sends. I get it. But we're in our 40s. Those kids are 19 and have been busting their butt. They want to try to win the game, and they would be perplexed as to why you went with Chuba. But, yes, that is the risk you run, right? That he could throw 4 picks, and you're like, golly, can we even play him the next week?
Are they going to get bombed, though? It's not Chris Zorich. Chris Zorich ain't running out there, right, Corey, for Notre Dame?
I'm Manti-Te'o.
Yeah.
That heartbroken kid and what he had to endure.
Dallas Simpson asks, are y'all disturbed with the play calling from Norvell?
No, I mean, we only got one game.
We're not giddy with it, but not. I wouldn't say capital D disturbed yet. But yes, nobody can be happy with it.
Yeah, but it's impossible to determine because you have a quarterback who won't throw the football.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have arguably one of the worst quarterbacks among FBS, and you've got one of the worst offensive lines. There's not this magic play calling thing that you can do to work around all that stuff.
Yeah.
Sure, you can nitpick here and there, but call could have been different. Sure, but I mean, there's no play caller in the world. I don't care who you put out there that's going to go out in Florida State's going to put out good numbers against Miami with that team. It's just not happening.
There we go. Daryl's buying the 45 points.
There we go.
Todd Vernon is not buying the 40 points.
Todd, keep trying to keep it
Come
real.
on, Todd.
That's your opinion,
We're
man.
doing it, buddy. Just watch. I'm going to light them up.
Ira, Trenton Smith asks, does Toafili run for a touchdown?
Sure. I'll say yeah. I'll say yes. I think. We all like that kid, and that's kind of the thing I think about some young guys is even if they don't know everything, and they'll just talent and ability and desire will, you would think, lead to some good things. It might have some bad plays, but it might have some good plays too. And I think not that Corbin and those other guys have done anything wrong, but Toafili definitely gives you a spark.
I like that. Phone lines are open, 850-805-5911. Give us a call, get involved.
Hey,
conversation.
What do you guys think about the depth chart with the 2 running backs? And Norvell kind of dismissed it, but I actually think getting less receivers on the field is probably a good thing. So I thought going with more running backs is a positive move, I think.
Yeah.
But do you actually think we'll see 2 running backs?
I think it's very possible. Or one of them spread out wide or something. But
put one in motion and put them in the slot or something.
You think you've got more guys in that group that you'd want to see on the field than I would want to see the receivers, at least the way they play these first couple games.
Yeah, I'm with you, especially I don't know how much we see with Terry. Some issues on the sideline. He's got the ankle. Warren Thompson has some issues. So, yeah, maybe they do that. I mean, why not put Corey Wren out there in slot? I mean, let's mix something up.
Yeah, Ray Pereira asked that, and Aslan put it on the screen, and then we didn't answer it. And I feel like
it was the ghost. It was the ghost.
That was me.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to say if Ray Pereira.
I didn't know. I don't know anything about Corey Wren. I didn't want to talk about Corey Wren if we don't know anything. But if you guys know, by all means.
I just think anytime Ray Pereira asks a question, we have to acknowledge it. No matter, it's like guess how much I can bench. Whatever Ray Pereira wants to put out there, we have to answer it. So I don't know if he hasn't played at all, right? Wren hasn't been on the field for one snap, even in a 52.
Although Papuch, JP, the special teams coach, brought him up this week and said that he's a guy they may look at the return game. Didn't he? Didn't he bring him up, or did somebody?
Yeah, he did. Because I'd asked him about Travis Jay being out, who's going to be out, and he mentioned him as one of the guys they're looking at in the return game. So maybe we'll see his day. If we're going to ever see his debut, this would be the game. And again, I'll remind people there's no red shirt issues. Eligibility carries over, so you might as well get him out on the field. And just to answer Ray's question, I mean, there's a lot of running backs. I mean, between Jay-Sean, Webb, Tolafili, Deontay Sheffield, Ja'Kai Douglas. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there, and you played 2 games. So I do think we'll get Corey Wren. I bet we see him a little bit in this game.
Yeah.
All right. I haven't been too concerned about the running back game, but I guess, we're all looking for instant offense, and he's got a lot of speed, so that could be an option. 7 Toms. What's up, man? Appreciate that. Thank you very much. I get you some love. I get you a horn. Kind of think that we need to move on from the jumbo Fisher mindset of, quote, let them learn the system, at least in this situation. We can't be gun shy about our quarterback.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. It is a problem though when their first start could theoretically be at Notre Dame. But yes, agreed. Let them, if they take some lumps, they take some lumps. The other one it's untenable. It's untenable. And I want to say unless he does this or that and proves this, but we've seen it. It's untenable. But so you got to cut the cord.
Don't we think James still probably starts? But I mean, he'll get to a series or 2, and then they'll start the rotation.
Yeah, probably.
Tomorrow or Notre Dame, Gene?
I mean, tomorrow. I think I guess we don't know, but I think tomorrow, we're going to see JB1 get the first couple reps series. And then what you want to do, whenever that script runs out, Corey, that could be play 12, 15. Yeah. Boom. I don't care if it's 2nd and 5. That script's done. Get them out.
If it's in the middle of the drive, he comes in. You're right. Yep. I agree with you.
This is going to be like when an older player in his last season, they let him start the All-Star game. Then they get him out after a couple of innings.
Yeah.
Bring in the real starters for the All-Star. This is going to be James. Maybe it'll be like his little farewell to the crowd of 8,000.
He'll give a wave to the crowd, and they'll get to applaud all the. I'm not going to say mean. I'm not going to say anything mean about him.
Then we'll move on.
I'll get the hey man. They never take away the swamp from you, James. You walked into the swamp and you beat the Gators.
That's right.
True story.
I don't care what that team was or who was coaching them. Daryl says or asks rather, why hasn't Keyshawn Helton gotten the ball more?
Again, we don't know how many play calls where he's been open. I would assume more than, what does he have, 2 catches? 3? He's got 4 touches maybe on the season. I have a feeling he's been open more than that, and the ball just does not get thrown his way. Now, part of the reason I say you can criticize Norvell a little bit is you can call plays where it's just one read. You throw it to Keyshawn Helton, get him the ball. I thought we were going to see that more, and we really haven't. So you can force feed it to him, but that hasn't happened either.
What about
I like Dion 850 here. I love what I've seen out of Poitier. Let's get him on the field more. He's exciting. I have a feeling he may be one of the surprise freshmen that gets a lot of playing time this Saturday.
Okay, there we go. I like that. I like to see that. Scott Kernan off Facebook. We are on Facebook as well, not only YouTube. If you are watching us on YouTube, though, again, hit that thumbs up button. We would appreciate it. Do you guys think the fact that Norvell had to watch the game on television and had to listen to all the commentary will actually affect some of the changes? Kirk Herbstreit, a consultant for us now.
I wonder if he did the what some fans do is like watch the TV broadcast and put Decker off in the ear so he doesn't have to listen to the ESPN guys. I don't know. I still can't even imagine what that must have been like. I just have this vision of him. Like, I don't know if he's a remote control thrower or if he's a pillow, like just slam himself in the head with the pillow. Like,
if they could have done a pay-per-view and had another camera on him watching him watch the game, I think they could have raised some money for athletics. Because
I would have paid. I would have paid $100 to watch. Like,
you think it had to be a cuss word or 6? There had to be some expletives, right? Fired.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many? Over under of like 50.
Over. That was a lot.
I was going to say most of the people watching this were probably over 50.
And I don't even know if we needed. I honestly don't even know if we needed sound. Just get to watch. Yeah. Like you could tell the different stages of grief as he went through. Like, midway through the 3rd quarter, it's just acceptance.
See, I feel like it would even be better because I just assume he was FaceTiming Dillingham the whole time anyway, and he was on the phone next to Dillingham's seat or on the press box table. But so he has to see the delay. So he hears Dillingham's reaction to the play. And then 6 seconds later, he sees it on his TV. So he knows it's coming. Like Dillingham's like, oh, God, no. And then Norvell's like, oh, God, what is this going to look like? Oh, it's Jordan Travis on a reverse pass. He got to hear the commentary before he saw the play.
I mean, he probably heard Chris Fowler for about a quarter and says, I can't take this guy anymore. I got to switch. I mean, maybe he muted it, put on Deckerhoff, something.
I think they did one of his games last year when Memphis was like top 10 in the country or something against another.
Oh, they did.
Teams.
Yeah, game day when they played SMU.
Is that what it was? Yeah, and I think Herb Street and Fowler were broadcasting that game, right?
And
they would have had to. Yeah.
Rhett Lashley was on the other side.
That's right. That's right. Well, he didn't work out so well this time.
Going on a laser show. When you guys interview the receivers, ask how many times have you been open? LOL.
That would be
Hey, just out of curiosity, how many times have you been wide open?
Yeah.
That's what I wish PFF would do that and have something, some kind of stat on that, like per route. I mean, how many receivers were open? How many yards were they open by? I'd love to see that in a game.
Shout out to Steven Strasbaugh. Almost said Strasburg. That was tough to get out there. But shout out to Steven Strasbaugh throwing $10 in the tip jar. That gets you what the G's get.
Nice, Steven. Thank you, buddy. Thanks, man.
Buddy.
Appreciate the compliment. Really do. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. It's awesome, man. This is fun. This is good stuff. How about Redbeard? He's back.
Woo! Another one.
There we go, man. Redbeard just trying to get into the Ray Pereira stratosphere. I think better quarterback play will open the option to see more players people want to see and make Norvell more comfortable playing younger guys.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I mean, that's the other thing is like it's hard to even you imagine. There's no way Mike Norvell. I mean, I'm curious your guys' thoughts. There's no way he could have gone into these games thinking the offense was going to look like it looked, right? Like, there's no way after practice on Friday. I think back, Aslan. Remember that time when you had Greg Fry at practice when he just turned away from the lineman and had that look like,
no athletes. I got no athletes. What do you say? I got no athletes.
Like, there's no way Norvell on Friday evening, like when they finish the walkthrough, just goes back into his room and thinks, man, we're going to score 10 points tomorrow. Like, he has to think it's going to be better than it is, right?
Right? Yeah, of course. You would hate him to be like, guys, it's going to be a struggle to even get a few first downs. I think he believes in what he's doing. I don't know. I think now, though, he knows that you can only do so much with who's pulling the trigger.
So is this like a Richard? You remember old Richard Goodman? I mean, the practice All-American. Is that what this is? I mean, it's just he sees these guys making plays, executing in practice, and then come game time, it just all goes away. Is that what's happening?
Richard Goodman, the all-time great, was
uncoverable in practice.
Remember that he broke Antonio Cromartie's ankles at practice. I mean, he dusted Antonio Cromartie, and everybody's like, "What?" and freaking out. Everybody's going nuts, and.
And I remember one of those Clemson games back during the lost decade. He had the game-winning touchdown on a post and dropped it.
He also dealt with some injuries.
Yeah. John, it wasn't pretty. I just, anytime you can beat Florida in their house, true freshman quarterback, I wasn't nitpicking that day. But yeah, it's not going on the melt. It's not going on the highlight tape of Florida State.
He had a better game than that, but I guess maybe.
I'd look it up, but we're going to celebrate Darth Cronus on PS4. Although maybe Darth, save your money, get an Xbox. Just kidding. We appreciate you, man. He loves listening to you, Corey. He loves listening to Corey vent about how bad we are. LOL.
Well, I've been doing a little too much of that lately. I apologize, but it gets my ire up. I get lathered up thinking about like where this program was not that long ago, and now what we have to endure. And yes, we all have to endure it too. So. I get a little angry when I really think about it for too long. So I'm going to try to dial it down. Hopefully we'll have a win to talk about next week on the podcast and on this. And I'm going to be a happier guy. Plus my Braves won a playoff series for the first time since 2001. Ira, where were you in October of 2001? Were you in Tallahassee already?
I was working in Maryland. I was running the news section of a newspaper up in Maryland.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, so crazy how long it's been since the Braves did that.
Again. Phone lines are open, 850-805-5911. And how about Robert Brady? Welcome to the party, big dog. Let's go, Robert.
An extra horn there for Robert.
You listen to Wes Grant in the tip jar dancing around with Benjamin Franklin and Ray Pereira, man. Robert, what you got there, by the way?
Looks like he caught a whale.
Is that a grouper?
I think that's a humpback.
Did some whale fishing.
Yeah, that's a humpback. That thing is enormous.
Wow, that's a grouper, man. He's eating good for a while on that one. Woo.
I'm not the big fish. I'm not a fishery guy.
That's
I'm not
solid.
a lot of nautical knowledge here, but
Robert, if you're watching this, which you better be because you just got the horns and you earned it. Can you send us another message and tell us how big that fish was and how much it weighed? and what you did with it. I guess you just throw it back, right? When you catch one that big, let somebody else catch it.
You put that on your wall.
Yeah, I was going to say you mount that on your. I don't know if it can fit in some rooms.
But for Robert, if you went back and watched, I don't know if Robert saw our video that we did the other day, and we talked about the foundation of all the problems that gone on with the program. Ira went on a nice rant about the administration, so I suggest going back and watching that one. That was some solid stuff from Ira.
Yeah, I think, look, there's going to be some changes in the near future for Florida State. It's going to be a dawn of a new day. We have the story up on the website, the Q&A with Michael Alford, who's the new CEO of Seminole Boosters. Andy Miller is retired and is still serving as a consultant for the next few months. But Michael Alford is the new CEO of Seminole Boosters. President Thrasher recently announced that he's going to be retiring within the next 6 months or so. They've already started the search to bring in a new president. When the new president comes in, David Coburn's probably going to retire as well. Likely, the new president's going to want to bring in his own athletic director. So there's going to be some changes in the leadership of FSU athletics. And as they come out of, the economic situation we're in right now because of the coronavirus, everybody's kind of redirecting funds and figuring out what the course of action is. So I do think this is going to be a really fascinating couple of years for Florida State. I do think that the overall direction of the program, the leadership, is going to change significantly, and you hope for the better.
There we go. We got an answer. 42-pound gag grouper.
Man,
I don't know what gag means, but it looks yummy. I'll eat it.
Yeah.
42 pounds. I wonder how. All right, Robert. Next question. We're going to keep talking about Florida State football, but how long did it take you to vote that thing?
Yeah, man.
Also, I looked it up. He was right. Florida State only had 216 yards against Florida in 2017.
I looked that up too, Corey. But you know what? Why that was? I forgot. That was the great Felipe Franks.
Oh, he was terrible.
Side, threw three picks in that game, so I think that was more Franks contributed to that.
Yes, James Blackman definitely dominated that quarterback battle. But Blackman was 10 of 21 for 128 yards. But if you remember the game, I promise you he had 4 or 5 drops that would have been probably gotten close to 200 yards. And James Blackman going 15 or 16 of 21 is obviously a huge difference from the guy we see right now.
Shout out to Terry Carter. Appreciate the
nice
man. Super Sicker. If you're watching us on YouTube, which most of you are, some of you are on Facebook, you'll probably see some sort of cool image. But all I can do is play some music for you, man. Terry, we do appreciate it. Looks like I was about to say you're a Jags fan, but just a regular Columbia fishing shirt. Maybe your daughter is that Chief Wahoo on her hat? I don't know. But anyhow, we appreciate it, Terry. Thanks so much. We got a phone.
Thanks, man. Thank you, Terry.
We got a couple
Terry.
callers in the queue. Let's grab this one. Been waiting for 2 minutes in the queue. We do appreciate it. Welcome on into the warchant.com happy hour. Who's this? Where are you calling us from?
Cooper calling from Thomasville, Georgia.
Cooper.
There we go.
Cooper.
229.
There we go, man. What's going on, Cooper? What's your question, man?
I kind of see similarities in the way Norvell and Willie Taggart handled losses.
Ugh,
I kind of wish that he would, get on the players. I mean, not put it all on the players necessarily, but at the end of the day, he's not the one throwing the football. I wish he would, I know it's his first year, so I don't know how that works. And, he's gaining, relationships with the players, but at some point he's got to kind of get harder on them and tell them, like, look, guys, it's up to you at the end of the day. If you want to win, you got to, get addicted to getting better every day, every rep, every down.
I think his public, what he's saying in public doesn't mean that's what he's saying in private. Mm-hmm. I think he strikes me as a guy that is not afraid to lay it on the players and be vocally upset for long stretches. And I'm sure they heard from him on Sunday whenever they got to see him again. I don't think the guy that's in front of us after a game is the same guy that maybe they see. At the same time, we have a fragile team and it's only your second game. I don't know that it's a tough situation he's in because, I'm sure he's furious. But he's trying to build something and he doesn't necessarily want to cut their legs out from under them and tell them how horrible they are 2 games into a season. Like, we know it because we've lived it longer than Norvell. Last year, Norvell didn't watch a single Florida State game. He was out winning games at Memphis. So he's still getting adjusted to this. And if it keeps happening, I got to imagine by like late October or November, we're going to see a different type of Norvell even talking to us. Don't y'all think that? Like he can only take so much of this.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Cooper, a little bit more, I've heard, again, I don't want to give out specifics because I hear stuff secondhand, but I've heard a couple instances in practices or in meetings when he's lost it on some guys, and some guys have been kicked out of meeting rooms, that sort of stuff. So a lot of this stuff is happening behind the scenes. He's not the kind of guy, I don't think, that's going to air it in an interview. Keep in mind, we're not at practices, so we don't get to see this stuff. And he wasn't even at the last game. Obviously, he was at home because of COVID. But yeah, I think it's very different. I never heard those stories about Willie Taggart, but I did hear the story. I'm hearing the stories a lot about Mike Norvell, that he will get on guys. And keep in mind, a couple of guys have left the program, and I don't think, for the most part, that's not by their choice. So I do think he's coming down and instilling discipline on the players when he needs to.
That's definitely good.
Yeah, and the one thing I would say, the difference between, one of the criticism I would have of Willie Taggart, from what we heard, again, we're not in the locker room, but a lot of times Willie would get onto them in the locker room after games. Like he would, if somebody had a fumble, he would yell at them. There was one game, I think, Corey, you and I were outside. I'm not sure if you were there or not. We heard him losing his mind in the locker room after the game, screaming and banging stuff. But then that wasn't there during the week. I think it's more important for it to happen during the week than it is to just throw a fit after the game. So, we'll see. It's just still two games. I'm sure he's trying to figure out what he should say publicly and what he should say behind the scenes. But I think, to Gene's point, I think he's doing things the right way during the week, and Willie was not. So,
Cooper, thanks for the call, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Have a good one.
Thanks, Cooper.
Hold it down in Thomasville.
By the way, Rob gets back to us. Robert got back. 25-minute fight. 25-minute fight.
I don't know anything about fishing, but I thought it would have been longer.
Yeah.
Maybe so Robert must be an experienced fisherman.
Yeah. He's got some Popeye forearms. Wayne Tillman.
Well done, Wayne.
Yes, indeed.
So you know what they do? Corey, have you ever done deep sea fishing? Corey?
No, of course not. Who are you talking to?
So what they do, my mom used to drag us. My mom used to take us all the time when we were kids. They'll actually drive the boat after the fish, especially like game fish. Like if you get a sailfish or marlin and they're taking off, they'll actually cruise.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Corey, you saw Jaws? I mean, you saw
Jaws.
that.
You throw the barrels in the
big
water.
Fish, you shoot them with the barrels, right? The float. Isn't that what they do, Ira?
Yeah. That's what Robert did with that grouper. Is he shot him with a couple of barrels, so he had to come up.
Weighed him down. All right, we got another phone call. Let's hop on over to the phone lines. Thanks for holding. We do appreciate it. Welcome on into the warchant.com happy hour. Who's this? Where are you calling us from?
What's up, fellas? This Rocket City. No, Joe from Huntsville. What's going on with y'all?
Joe from Huntsville, man. Joe, I feel like you might take my job with that smooth voice of yours. Man. Warchant might sound better coming out of your mouth than mine.
He really needs to be a DJ. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, what's going on, Joe? What's on your mind, man?
Well, I was just going to say I didn't get to. I tried to call in right after the Miami game, but it's a good thing I didn't, because everything that I wanted to say has been already hashed. I'm a little more calm right now, but I just wanted to say that I, on the past podcast, I know Aslan, you in particular were, you made the statement of something like, because everybody and their mother is screaming for youth movement, including and especially me. And I know you had made the statement about, what does a youth movement really look like? What is it? And to me, I would say a youth movement, no, it doesn't consist of, just revamping the whole roster and just throwing in fresh new blood all over in every position. But to me, youth movement is, everybody and their mom knows that we have a true freshman, two capable true freshman quarterbacks waiting to play. And the way that our 4-year starter has been playing, if he's going to play like that, then stick one of them in and whoever else is ready. In other words, plug in true freshman, fresh blood in there that's ready to play any position on the field if we're going to look like that, because I just cannot take us that. Listen, I say I'm calm, but that mind, that just, oh my God, I just, Miami's okay. I give them respect for, getting transfer portal positions and plugging up, some holes. but they're not 52 points better than Florida State. They just are not. I mean, and
42,
my thing
42.
is
That's right, Joe. They're only 42
42.
points better than Florida State.
right, 42 points.
You forgot about those 10 points.
it's-
10 big points.
Right.
Well,
right.
Joe, I mean, to your point,
So
I agree with that. I don't think everyone's saying like just throw all new freshmen out there, but it just you start Steven Dix over Leonard Warner. I mean, he's probably better than Leonard Warner. I just don't know if that's like they need somebody to rush the quarterback. They need somebody that can stay on wide receivers and coverage and play that better, and obviously quarterback as well. I just don't know quarterback. I think there's some options, but I don't know. There's nobody they can put at defensive end. I don't think there's anybody really particularly that's going to be better cover corner than Jarian Jones at this point. But maybe to Ira's point in the video that we did earlier this week, maybe you can find some playmakers on your defense, some young guys that can come in and just rush off the edge. Maybe some of these defensive backs like a Jadarius Green McKnight or Demore Tate, maybe one of them can just come in with a single solitary focus and get stuff done. But yeah, I don't know like what DJ Lundy and Steven Dix will do to improve the defense overall, but I guess it's looking towards the future.
Right. And I'll go ahead and end with this because I know y'all got other calls and whatnot, but I'm tired of the coach speak when it comes to passion. Please stop calling passion. And if Norvell, if you're listening, if you happen to be listening to this show, I don't know if you are, but please stop calling disrespect passion. I can't stand that. Case in point with nine, and I know Corey, I know we say that, we didn't see the whole argument or whatnot, but still, from what I heard, if what I heard was true, you just don't go at your coach like that. He's been where you're trying to get, and you're going to disrespect him like that. Please stop calling disrespect passion, because one of the things that we keep saying that Willie did, or one of the things was with, losing control or not, no discipline, disrespect. Well, if that's the case, then why are you going to let Norvell? Why are you going to let the players get away with it? Because if we're in this, aren't we in this position kind of because of the disrespect or whatever? So no, I can't stand. I just can't unsee the Twitter with Marvin Wilson and
Warren Thompson.
Yeah. Yep.
Warren Thompson calling out our coaches and hadn't showed up in a game. And then you want to, but you won't call out your fellow teammates that's not making plays. So I say all that to say, I haven't lost any confidence in the coaches. It's just a long, depressing road that we're going to have to endure. But go Noles. And if you want to do a score prediction, I'm going to make a lot of people mad. But Jacksonville State 20.
Cut them off.
Don't do it,
Cut them
Joe.
off.
What was it? What was it?
I'll just say Jacksonville State 24, Noles 14. Go Noles!
Come on, man. That's it.
All
That's
right,
it. He gets a week ban.
He's no longer a pillar. He was hurt that he was not called the pillar of the.
And he is a pillar. Olive Garden, Joe, was in your future.
He gets the call block and no Olive Garden, no gift card.
There's also breaking news in the chat. Do you see Gator Kirk's post, Aslan?
I saw that he just dropped $13 in the tip jar, so I appreciate that.
Not only is he not going to be the first caller, no more
calls until he threw the gauntlet down.
No,
this is what's got pandemonium in the.
We need to get this to Norvell. He needs to pin this. When they go in, they all touch the sign. They need to have this above. So before they go out, they need to touch this. We can't let this happen, team.
If they're not going to play for the guys that came before him and the guys that wore that uniform before him, or the fans, play for Gator Kirk on this show at least.
Yeah.
Show some sort of pride.
Oh man, I'm trying to get the war chant up. I can't even speak.
There we go.
Gator Kirk doesn't like the horn. He likes the war chant. So I'll give that to you for 5-second interval before YouTube bans us. So there you go, Gator Kirk. I don't see, it hasn't popped up on my side yet to put up, but all right. So he's laid down the gauntlet. Gator Kirk will he'll forfeit his leadoff rights if
all rights.
All right.
No more
not
calls.
Going to bat anymore.
What if they don't win a game this year? We're not going to hear from Gator Kirk till next year.
Well, you can still send messages via the comment section.
Are you pumped for the post game this time around, Gene? Good grief, man. That was a really good idea, but I feel like
not if Joe's prediction is true. I'm not. I'm definitely not.
Man, I can't even imagine.
We might have technical difficulties.
Hey, Joe. And Joe's from Alabama. He might have some inside information.
Yeah, he might know that team well.
Huntsville's not too far, I don't think.
The younger folks will remember that. Remember that, like late at night when TV would go off and you'd have the bars.
Yeah.
They would go up there. I think we'll just broadcast that if Florida State loses.
Just the bar and then the national anthem.
Yeah, we'll play that at the end.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that, though? I know, Ira, you dropped a line to me about what we said on the podcast. The whole thing that Joe was mentioning about disrespect isn't passion.
Yeah. I mean, because Norvell did, try to dance around that a little bit and said that, what some of the incidents on the sideline, and he didn't specifically say Tamarian, but he said, it's passion and it's an emotional game and all that. I mean, that's something it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out, because it's not really what we think. It's what's happening on that team. And if you've got a player or players that feel like they can dress down a coach during a game and then nothing happens to them, I mean, everybody else on that team is going to be watching that. Yeah. So I don't care how good you are, how talented you are, how much you played, how many good things you've done in the past. If you do that and nothing, it's just like any of us with our kids at home. If you have a child just disrespects you in front of the other children, you need to, what do you got to do, Corey? Kick him out of the house?
No, you can't do that. You can't do that. You go make him stay with his mom. Make Tamarian go somewhere else.
Well, that's the thing. Don't you guys think? I mean, I don't think Terry starts, right? I mean,
here's the thing.
Surprised if he starts the game?
That is, to Jay's point, I do think it's a valid concern. Warren Thompson had that situation during the summer, started the first two games, and hasn't done anything. Tamarian Terry blows up, and it was more than just a word or two. It went on for a good 20 seconds. If that happens and he comes out and nothing happens, you are dancing down a dangerous road. So I'm curious to see how Norvell handles that.
Okay. All right. We've had an hour. We've had our happy hour. Thanks to everybody who was part of the show today, calling in, posting your questions. Thanks to everyone and their tips. Gator Kirk,
very generous. Thank you.
CGJ, Terry Carter, Robert Rainey, Darth Cronus, Redbeard, Steven Strasbaugh, Seven Toms, Chris Hendricks, Ray Pereira, Clinton Terrell, U.S. Air Force Roman Gilliard, James B., Michael Allen. Thanks to everybody who tipped us. We really do appreciate it. And it's not over until we hear this. So let me play this because it, so
we are sorry, but the show has ended. Goodbye.
Yeah, there we go. That's how it all ends. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Stay connected to warchant.com. Use that promo code warchant30. Pre-game show starts an hour and a half before the game. That'll be here on YouTube. And then the post-game show about 10 minutes afterwards with Gene. Ira and Corey will have their wrap up as well. So do stay connected with us. We do appreciate it. Have a great one, everybody. Go Noles.